Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have, well, not today, this happened a couple days ago. Like I said, I've been behind on my videos, my fault, I told you guys I got a full-time job now and all of that. I'm gonna try to stop saying it so much, stop using it as an excuse. I'm gonna manage my time a little bit better. But you guys told me to go over this thread on my Discord, and I'm here to go over it. So obviously this is the devs talking about the 1-year anniversary. And there's a lot that was said here, a lot. To keep it real, I'll probably make this a two-parter because obviously I'm going to go off on my tangents. I'm going to, talk about other stuff and go from there, right? But like always, link will be down below, and let's check it out together. Alright, so 1-year anniversary recap. Greetings, warriors of Calradia. It seems hard to believe, but a whole year has passed since Mount Blade 2 Bannerlord was released in early access. It's such a challenging year it has been for everyone. We hope you are staying safe and healthy, and that the game was able to serve as an enjoyable distraction for you during these difficult times. It did help me out a lot. It kind of launched my channel, so I do appreciate the game. You know what I mean? I do appreciate it, and it is a fun game to play. That is true. Okay. We also want to express our gratitude to everyone that has supported us since early access launch and provided us with many great suggestions and ideas that have helped us tremendously with the development of the game. Cool. With that in mind, the first anniversary seems like the perfect occasion to take another look at the path we're taking together. Initially, we had estimated the early access period would last for about a year. And while we are happy with the progress that has been made so far, we feel that the game isn't quite ready for its full release yet. As such, our tentative estimate for the release is Q4 of 2021. Wow. Cool. So we're going to go into pretty much the Novembers, October, November, December, those areas. Okay, so what is that? That's kind of what my prediction was. 4 or 5 months. If you guys remember the video from a couple of weeks back where the devs stated, a couple of little hints there and there, but that's kind of what I expected. Cool. However, development will continue as long as necessary as we take the time to ensure the game is fun and enjoyable. Cool. So it might get pushed back again, and that's a good thing to hear. On a connected note, many of you have been inquiring about the game coming to consoles, and it's coming, right? That's pretty much what they said before. As we've always said, our focus right now is on finishing the PC versions. Consoles will come later, but they will come. Okay, cool. When we have more information to share about it, you'll be the first to know, so stay tuned to our website, forums, and social media channels. And also, what the devs have said before is a lot of people are wondering, like, okay, if it takes this long to come out for PC, how long will it take for consoles? Some of the devs have stated before previously that like porting it to the console and making it playable on the console, it won't take as long as people think. You know what I mean? It still might take like a month, 2 or 3, but it won't take as long as people think. It won't be like a year, 2, 3, something like that. You know what I mean? But it will be coming. And there will actually be a huge boom in visibility for the game when that does come. Because console does have a lot of players. I know us PC gamers out here think that, we hold the majority stake. But console, man, a lot of people own consoles, let me tell you. With that cleared up, let's move on to discuss what happened with the game over the past year. Okay, let's do it. First, stability and performance. Me, personally, I think if we're talking about pound for pound, what improved dramatically and pretty much in a way the best improvement, the biggest gain of improvement was the stability and performance. I've played this game since the beginning version. I've covered this game since the beginning version up until now, and I plan to keep covering it. And I can tell you right now, by this graph, as you can see, the FPS, the stability of being in towns, settlements, and all of that improved drastically. There was a lot of times where I lagged on the first version, a lot of times. I still lag on this version, though I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's if you compare the two, it's night and day. I think in terms of crashing, in terms of performance, bugs, all that, I think it was incredible how much they've, pretty much pumped it up in a way. Not like pumped it up in a bad way, but pumped it up in terms of like improving it. So they state, when Bannerlord first released, we were humbled by the sheer amount of players that chose to support us in early access, and while many of you were able to play the game without any major issues, there were those of you who experienced bugs, crashes, and performance challenges. That is something that we have worked hard to address, especially in the early weeks and months. To help in those efforts, we introduced a separate beta branch for the game, which, thanks to some supportive and patient players, has helped since to highlight and resolve many issues before they could make their way to the live version of the game. Yes, this is really the main reason why the beta patch was introduced, and a lot of people chose to always play the beta patch, to get the new features, and for some reason there's, I wouldn't say majority of players, because I'm pretty sure a majority of players understood the concept of a beta, but there was a lot of players who didn't understand the concept of a beta and still don't understand the concept of a beta. But when there's two versions of a game, a live and a beta, the beta will always be more unstable. And if you want to play, let's say, with mods, or if you want to play in a more stable environment, you always choose the live. But for some reason, there was a lot of people who chose the beta and also chose auto updates and complained, and just for stuff that if you did a little bit of research, you could really find out and realize that, hey, the beta is more unstable. The beta will have bugs. The beta will have, it's obviously made for beta testing. It's in the name. But yeah, I do like that they had the two branches. Obviously, this is mostly a Steam thing, as Epic Games doesn't have the beta branch. For people who have it on the Epic Games store, I had to explain it a couple times, but if you do have it on the Epic Games store, unfortunately, as far as I know, the platform Epic Games obviously has a lot of potential for the future to become like, this competing games market in a way, right? It really does. It has a very huge game that's pumping it up, obviously, and then, all the other stuff that they are implementing. But unfortunately, Steam has been around for so long and has so much money behind it that it will have, in a way right now, better features and more in-depth features, such as the beta system and all of that. So unfortunately for right now, I'm pretty sure Epic Games will eventually get that system, but for the near future, it's mainly on Steam. But alright, naturally, there still remains work to be done, but to date, the performance stability of the game has improved by leaps and bounds. I agree. For instance, a recent internal profiling of a 1,000-unit field battle playing on the GTX 1660 Ti and the i7. I have no idea what any of these. I'm going to keep it a stack with you. I'm really not good with computers. I literally bought a pre-built computer for like 4K. It was ridiculous. But it's because I had a job and I could put it as a business expense on my taxes. And that's kind of why I did it. And it's still with me to this day. And it's been a couple of years. So it's doing good for me. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure if I built one, I'd probably get a way better deal. I get it. I've had people tell me that. But listen, I'm not the best at that. I focus on the stuff that I'm best at. And I'm going to leave the rest to the others, to other people to help me out with. But that's a side story for another day. So with this build for 1,000 battle, they got around 27 to 30 FPS on the early access release and sits at 47 to 50 FPS on the latest patch. Boom, that is a big improvement. Similarly, when it comes to the campaign map, a setup that we use for continuous testing, GTX 1080 and i7 87K experienced an increase from 80 to 90 FPS in fast forward. I think I have this, but I think I have a more pumped up version of this card. And I have no idea what kind of, this is a CPU, right? I have no idea what kind of CPU I have. I have a good CPU. I don't know which one it is. And this one, I think I have this one, but it's like pumped up. It has like an X over here, or it's like dual. I have no idea. I'm going to keep it a stack with you. But all right, as you can see, the graphs, improvements, definitely. From 1.0.10 to 1.5.8. Cool. Which is the live version. That's why you don't see 1.5.9, you just see the live version. Other technical areas have also seen much progress over the past years. Many spikes that caused stutters in gameplay were resolved. Scene loading times were greatly reduced. DLSS was added. Save game compression was improved by 80%. And the optimization of texture streaming reduced pop-in and sliced roughly 10 gigabytes off the game size. Yes, like I said before, I think all these back-end changes were amazing. I think they were very, very good, even though I remember being like, there was a lot of people who talked about like, oh, so this update only has this? You guys added 3 autosave slots? Oh, the save game compression? What about the real content? And I was the only one who was out there like, listen, this is actually good content. You know what I mean? I want to say I was the only one. I'm gonna keep it. I wasn't the only one, but you know, there was a lot of people who were stating that this was really small. But when, in terms of, you know, actual game progress, this is huge. Now moving on to gameplay. Let me take a sip of my drink. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a 2-part video. Literally 10 minutes in, and we've gone over the first topic. All right, gameplay. In the same spirit, we have made many improvements since launch to ensure that the basic gameplay is smooth and enjoyable. By utilizing your feedback, we've been able to make some welcoming changes to this front. With additions like quick map conversations, very good. The quick map conversations being shown off right over here. Right away, you get into the conversation, barely any loading screen. I like it. And the overhauled hideout troop selection window. One thing about the hideouts that I wish that they would really address, let us see how much people are in the hideouts. That was a thing we had before, and I like the changes that we have received of, you know, being able to choose who goes in with us, but please let us see who's in the hideout. I think that needs to come back. This continued throughout the year with small but impactful tweaks such as expanding quick conversations to settlements, the ability to categorize save files, very good as well. The fact that, you know, save files are by drop-down menus, I think that's very good. An addition of range of menu shortcuts that, among other things, allow you to quickly switch tabs or move/upgrade entire stacks of items. I agree with that as well. You can now initiate conversation on the campaign map. Yep, it's showing it off right over here. Another important area that we made efforts to improve is how the game communicates with you. Quite early on, a new visual system was implemented to display map events like raids, battles, sieges on the UI instead of the 3D icons in order to improve overall visibility. Yes, you got all these little, you know, these are if there's quests, if you get close to a settlement, you got quests. There should be one for tournaments if there's a tournament. You got the sieges right over here. Yeah. And in a similar vein, we later added mobile party trackers that allow players to better understand where their clan parties and kingdom armies are. This was actually very good as well. It was also crucial to make the world more accessible by adding events like tournaments and quests to summon nameplates. These right over here that you see, this little thing, and it would have like a little orange helmet if there was a tournament. Now you are notified about things like threats against your fiefs and nobles resolving issues, and generally have more information about the world as well as your own actions. I always said more information to the player makes it a lot more enjoyable. It gives the player this sense of control, this sense of I know what's going on, and it gives you a better indication of how to move on from there. So I think it's very good to always give more information. And I think a lot more information needs to be given as well. And I think there should be more stuff in the encyclopedia that has to do with that. A number of UI improvements. Okay, so yeah, this is what they're talking about. And then, of course, it's not all about quality of life updates. As early access has progressed, other content and features have been added and adjusted as well. This includes some subtle but substantial things like balancing the prices, production, and availability of items and equipment in the market, reworking troop trees, introducing new item modifiers, including the lame horse feature, good feature, expanding conversations, and so on. At the same time, it also encompasses some more overt changes, like the many new quests, there has been some good quests. I've been doing obviously my 2-part series on all the updates, and so a lot of the quests that I do decide to play have been added as time went on. Or the overhaul of the prison recruitment system, which now offers more interesting choices to you and ties them to the character system, but also taught NPCs to do the same. Additionally, more recently, we have the introduction of the sandbox mode and prison break, which offer new avenues for you to explore. Yes, I think these are good systems, and we need more of them. And let's not forget photo mode, which allows you to immortalize your epic and silly moments in Bannerlord. I'm going to keep it a stack with you. I've never used photo mode. Maybe I should try it out. I never knew how to do it, even though it's probably very simple. I've never actually done it. But I have seen a lot of people on my Reddit showcases or Reddit recaps produce some very, very good pictures. So, yeah. Yeah, I agree with all this. Good stuff. Character development. Dun, dun, dun. Perks and all that. Moving on, we want to discuss a topic that many of you care deeply about, the character development system. When the game first launched, we were focused with some difficult choices. Perks were incomplete, but we were Also not entirely happy with their design at that point either. Initially, each perk just had a single effect. Yes, that's actually how it worked. And now the fact that it has 2 effects is actually huge. It kind of gives it more... each perk has other reasons. You know, it has like a combat reason and also a non-combat reason. It's good. Where is this? Which made them interesting and useful for either the player character or the companions and AI nobles, but not both. In the end, we decided to revisit design by reworking many of the existing effects and added a second effect to most of the 300 plus perks in the game, giving you more freedom and options when developing your characters and making it much less likely for any perks to go to waste. This decision does not come easy as it prolonged the time required to fill in missing content, but we believe it was the right choice as we made it the game better in the long run. It was the right choice. And now if I can just quickly... Hold on. Alright, let me... Bannerlordperks.com. Boop! Okay. Now as we see... Hold on. As we see right here, as of 1.5.9, we are about done with perks. You know what I mean? Steward is only with 90%. Everything else is above 95% being done. As you can see, if we check back, let's say 1.3, for example, look at this. Look at this mess. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's go a little bit further. A little bit better improvements. Some are hitting the greens. There it is. Only a couple more yellow left. And 1.5.9, we're really coming up to pretty much being done. So yes, very good. There are now over 300 perks in the game. Cool. Character progression and skills. Oh, what is this? Didn't load. Oof. Maybe it didn't load my... Let me reload it. Did it load back in? Hello? Okay, loaded back in. Cool. Character position skills also saw some fairly substantial changes. Initially, the character levels would grow based on skill levels, but this led in situations where you could harm your own progression unintentionally by focusing on just a few skills that would take longer and longer to develop. True. To solve this, the system was changed to be based on raw experience instead, which means the characters can grow even if their skill levels don't increase. Alongside this, we expanded the ways in which you can gain experience, whether it be in combat in the arena, charm and barter, or roguery for robbing peasants. Having said that, we hear you and we agree that this should receive more attention still. Yes, I think we should still have more ways to level up certain things, especially trading needs a little bit of a rework because it's a very hard grind. Smithing just needs to overall just be reworked completely. I know it's a hard thing to rework, but that definitely does need to be reworked. And a few more tweaks, and I think it will be in a good spot. Beyond that, we also want to provide you with a greater number of customization options, which so far have included additional colors of skin, hair, and eyes, a number of new hairstyles with a barber to change them as well, a much requested option to control your character's weight and build. I think, okay, I'm going to keep it a stack. I think the customization system is good. What do you guys think about it? Let me know. What do you guys think about the Bannerlord customization system? Like when you first start, and then obviously the barber option. I think it's good. I think it's a solid system when it comes to character customization. Yeah, it's not like what that game that just came and went. That one that was supposed to stay, that next gen experience. You know what I mean? Where you could even change the size of your, you know what I'm talking about. But I think overall, I think it's good. I think there's a lot of choices, and I think you can definitely make some different types of characters. What do you guys think? However, it wasn't just heroes that needed some additional care. With the combat system and battle simulation generally favoring strong fighters, a situation arose whereby, unbeknownst to us, the development of troops and parties were skewed. Thankfully, you stepped in to let us know that we could be overly difficult to raise recruits to a higher level, and in response to this, we introduced a shared experience system that ensures that combat experience is more evenly distributed among your troops. This was a good system to implement. Pretty much, if you did a battle, what's it called? Let's say your recruits hit nobody, they would still get experience that was shared from the people who took most of the kills. Finally, the interplay between the combat and the character systems was revised. Originally, the combat AI was derived from the NPC's character level. However, that meant that any high-level character, whether it was a merchant or a warrior, would be a proficient fighter. This has changed to take into account the character's skill level for their wielded weapon instead. It required some additional work with balancing troop stats and equipment, but like with the perks, it has improved the game in the long run. I agree. I think it makes sense. Alrighty, with that being said, we have hit our 20-minute mark. I don't want to make too long videos. I think people enjoy, even shorter than this. I've had some wild comments lately, but yeah, I'm going to keep it at the 20-minute mark. We're going to do the next parts. We have quite a lot left, but these will be covered in part 2, probably released, if this is released, let's say, on the 5th, which I think I will release it on the 5th, then the next one will be released on the 6th, just the day after. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Definitely good that they've made this. I think this is definitely a good thing to make. Obviously, I'm still slacking on my part 2 of my update video. My bad. I'm really trying to get everything going. Obviously, Easter just happened. If you guys do celebrate it, hopefully you guys had a good Easter and all that. I spent time with the family, obviously, so it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? People who have kids, people who have full-time job. Hopefully you guys understand. You know what I mean? People who don't, I'm just letting you know. I'm literally. I went from being able to sit on the computer for a very long time because obviously I saved a lot of money from my previous job, so I could focus on this YouTube stuff to literally I spent maybe for the past 3 days I've had 3 hours on the computer. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to make it work. I will have more off days very soon, and I'm going to grind a lot of content out for you guys. I've promised a lot, and I am going to deliver. So. Yes, thank you for all the support, and like always, stay safe.